Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Check Me. We're going to talk everything football this weekend. We'll cover a little bit about Philadelphia Eagles. Everything Philadelphia Eagles. We'll talk about the Baltimore Ravens victory. Talk about some things that kind of happened in the league. Belichick getting his 300th win. Some surprises. And overall my general thought of week 6, week 7 analysis. I also want to talk about Alabama and the new rankings that came out in the AP poll and how it's not necessarily a good depiction of what may happen in the college football rankings. But the first thing I'm going to cover and talk about are the Eagles. The Eagles, we got a win against Miami Dolphins. Now, this is a beat-up Miami Dolphins team. Jalen Waddle was in and out. There was no Xavier Howard. There was no Jalen Ramsey. I don't think that makes a huge – it does make a big difference, but I still think that we would have executed at a high level and won the game regardless of those guys were not. Big win at home in the Link. Jalen Hurts had a good day. 109 quarterback passing rating. 23 for 31, 279 through the air, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 3 sacks, and then he also had 11 rushes. He had the second most rushes. 11 rushes, 21 yards, 1 touchdown. Dre Swift had 15 for 62 on the ground. But overall analysis, I just want to talk about Jalen Hurts. I think that he's maturing as a passer, and this is what we essentially want to see out of Jalen Hurts. You want to see him make the throws he needs to make, throw the ball when he throws away. We talk about shelf life as a quarterback, and shelf life is very, very important. How can he extend himself throughout the career? Run when he needs to run. Avoid taking monumental big hits throughout his career, but putting him in a position where he can be good for a long period of time. And that is making him become more of, not necessarily a reserved passer, but a more tactical passer. I don't like the wave of these new offenses are kind of going around of really downfield passing, waiting for plays to develop. I do like the idea of letting downfield plays open up and later in the game, but I thought we're starting to evolve a little bit in our short passing game. AJ Brown. Once again, I look at how many times they were thrown to. He had 15 targets, 10 receptions. So I do still think we're forcing him a little bit much. And if we kind of look backside, we see Smitty's open just as much on some of those routes. But Smitty was 4 for 49. We got him started early. Dallas Goedert as well, too. He was our early go-to guy, which opened up a lot for some downfield passing and, A.J. Brown to have one-on-one, matchup. For A.J. Brown to do what he's doing, he has to respect the fact that you can't double A.J. Brown because you can't leave Smitty man coverage. And if you leave Smitty man coverage, then, bombs away, which we've seen, in the past. So the evenness that we have, as far as you have to play the Eagles straight up and have a good defensive line, is a big reason why we were effective and efficient on offense. The running game wasn't there, but we talked about this. And it's not. I don't think it's the fact that we couldn't run. I think that the Miami Dolphins are putting a big emphasis on stopping the run, which allowed our passing game to open up. So I thought that our offense was effective and efficient for the most part, other than that one throwaway from Jalen Hurts, and he's got to figure out a way to not turn over the ball. 2 turnovers in this game could have easily put us in a spot where we were losing. It wasn't for our defense, but he's got a hold on. That's the reason why we lost the Super Bowl. I think his biggest mistake in the Super Bowl was him fumbling, and if he doesn't fumble that ball, that's a possession we could have had that was a touchdown. Holding on to the ball, 4 turnovers last week against the Jets. Just being better, being good, being great all the time is a tier that we want Jalen Hurts at, so we can get to this midseason push. This is a heavy midseason push. On the defensive side, we're still struggling a little bit at safety, but I thought that we did very well. And this is the one thing I was looking at coming into the game. I was really focused on our front 4. If we can get a pass rush with our front 4, whoever those 4 guys are, we rotate in, then I think we'll do well. And they couldn't run the ball. Big Jordan Davis stopped that early. Those big hog mollies up front. So the run opens up the pass. And what you saw was the Dolphins were really unable to, they didn't score in the fourth quarter. They had a bomb at the end of the half. When we were playing soft coverage, but their offense really never matriculated to what we've seen the Miami Dolphins offense be. And this is a really true test for the Eagles. People had the Eagles. You look at the power rankings, which I don't care about the power rankings. They didn't have the Eagles as a top team. You know, they had the Eagles. I'm pretty sure they thought the Eagles were going to come in here and get blown away by this passing attack. But people don't realize the Dolphins. They if they can't run the ball, they're ineffective. Whenever they play a team that has a good front four, they're ineffective. Now the Bills just have their number, but they really haven't faced a team with the solid front four when it comes to stopping the run and passing attack. The Chargers weren't it. Patriots weren't it. The Broncos definitely weren't it. The Bills don't have that. The Giants don't have that, and the Panthers don't have that. When you look at their schedule, they faced a losing Chargers team, a losing Patriots team, a losing Broncos team, a Bills team that's up in the air, a losing Giants team, a losing Panthers team. They played us. They played pretty weak teams throughout the whole season, and now they play the Eagles, a good team, and they struggle when they lose. So the Dolphins really didn't play anybody of top caliber. Their schedule. They're going to the Patriots, the Chiefs. The Eagles, the Patriots, the Chiefs, and then they got the Cowboys, Ravens, and the Bills in the season out. Which their schedule does not get any easier. Now, aside that, the running game was pretty much done. There was no running game at all. Do I think A-Chain makes a difference? No, I don't think A-Chain makes a difference. The holes were clogged. Guys were in the backfield. You saw, Hassan Reddick with the 2 tackle for losses begin pretty much in the first half. But our defense played well. Bradbury once again, he was supposed to have safety help, but what can you do? You're playing against Tyreek Hill, and yes, I would like him to be in better position, squeeze a little bit more, stay over top of the guy. If he has that speed, we see Tyreek Hill on film. Stay over top him. We don't play any type of trail technique. We play a lot of sinking too. Sometimes we play quarters, but we're not a true man team. We're playing man techniques. So I would like him to stay over top and squeeze and use his physicality over Tyreek Hill rather than not getting a hand up or feeling on his hip going up the sideline. So that's something you go to the film room and help out, but that Sydney help with Edmonds has to be there. Edmonds led our team in tackles, but Edmonds, I personally felt, was out of position a lot. I think he hesitated a lot, but there are a lot of good things that he did do that I think helped our team. So it's a plus or minus. You have a guy in, first-year guy in a situation where he's facing the Miami Dolphins, you don't expect to be perfect. So there's pluses and minuses probably on his film review, but I thought that Edmonds should have just been deep as the deepest on that, especially at the halftime. Don't let him get deeper than you. If that's your help, don't let him get deeper than you. Really good passing concepts by Mike McDaniel. I thought we managed them very, very well. So overall, I feel that we executed well. We did what we were supposed to do. We were in position. Our defensive line rotation once again was effective. We had 4 sacks, and it was just easy picking. Sweat once again getting off the edge. It's kind of like whose day is it this day? 8 tackles for loss. That's a tribute to stopping the run. They had 45 yards rushing. I mean, overall they didn't have over 300 yards total, and that's something to say to our defense and Sean Desai, who's putting guys in position. Once again, big play slate, a veteran move. How he's guarding his man, looking back. Just not playing through the man. The receiver looks back, understanding the ball may very well be in the air, and then drifting off his guy, making a play. Veteran play. We expect to see him move to extend his career, move more to the slot. But man, really, really good defense showing. Can't say anything. The team was shook. A couple things I didn't notice. I did not like the call, the no call on Bradbury. You saw what happened to us in that situation. We got the no call. But this is a game, we had no penalties this game. We're against, and I have to check this, we're against the Jets. If we turn the ball over, one thing that can mitigate turn the ball over is execution. When you talk about, hey, as a coach, you go back to the locker room and say, hey, look, we had no penalties, right? That's one way to say, hey, look, you can win the game, right? When you have no penalties. And then I'm going to go look and see where were we at with, we had 5 for 46 in turning the ball over against, 4 times. Yeah, 4 times against the Jets. You can't have that many penalties, that many turnovers. But no penalties against the Miami Dolphins is a huge win for us. When you talk about just execution, making sure that you're not jumping off sides, making sure you're staying disciplined. Now we should have had the face mask call, and we got punished for that. But time of possession, that long drive, 36 for 43, and that's the first thing. Execution went well. We weren't penalized. But they should have that one penalty on us. The next thing is Jason Kelsey. Man, this guy has so much heart. You talk about a guy who's sacrificing himself in the bottom of that pile every single time. Like, I'm sure his wife is looking like, I hope this is the last year. Just win the Super Bowl this year so you can retire. But the tush push is mainly because of those hog mollies up front, and then Jason Kelsey, a human sacrifice every time he jumps down. Tyreek Hill was fast. I think we all know that. Tyreek Hill is super fast. But I also liked Eli Ricks coming in, and he was kind of playing man coverage toward. And I'm not saying he wasn't holding a little bit handsy, but for a rookie to come in, play at LSU, transfer from LSU to Alabama, I'm pretty sure he learned some discipline there, being patient, waiting for his turn. We have some guys, Kilo Ringo, what's his name? Ringo, I forgot what his name is, his first name, Ringo, that I think can come in. But it's good seeing Eli Ricks. He's a cover guy, and this is what he's known for, come in and stopping them, and stopping Tyreek Hill in the last couple of plays. The schedule doesn't get easy for us. This is a big win as we start our midseason push. Next we have the Commanders, right? We go to Washington. Then we play the Cowboys, right? Then we got the Chiefs and the Bills, the 49ers, and the Cowboys again. And then the Seahawks. So we'll have, once again, I told you, we have the hardest schedule in football, but we have Commanders, right, which, at Washington, we struggled with them the past couple of years. The Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, 49ers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams with winning records after this game. It's definitely going to be a huge stretch for us. It's going to be, a time where we have to kind of, our bye weeks in between the Cowboys and the Chiefs, right? And I'm sure we have that game marked on our calendar. But it's going to be a huge, who are we coming out of this? I expect us to be higher in the power rankings. Continue to get better. I love the way the defense is going. Stay healthy, right? Stay healthy. If we can stay healthy throughout the midseason push, come towards the end of the season, getting better at the things that we do. Right? It's not the fact that we reached our cap, right? But we know what our standard is. The standard when we were up 17-10 going towards halftime and they were booing, right? That's the standard. And I think that's the standard we have to hold ourselves, but not burn ourselves out when it comes to playoff time and not beat ourselves up. So longevity for this midseason push, win the games, execute, play at a high level. But this is a good win for us, just putting the league on notice again, walking with that kind of standard that we currently have of ourselves. The Eagles have themselves. I'm not playing, so I'm not gonna say of ourselves, but big win. Good execution. The idea is to build on this. Keep on building on it.